Так, друзья, мы продолжаем. Единственное, что я перешел с Linux на Windows, потому что в Linux, молясь, меня доставало тормоза. Вот могу сказать, что тормозов теперь нет, и графика стала намного круче. Намного. То есть я когда играл, думал, блин, что за говно графику сделали Revolution Software, а тут прям то, что надо. Итак, погнали дальше. Мы прошли в Union City через грузовик сарделек. Итак, теперь мы в Union City. Тут ничего нет. Тут тоже ничего нет. А вот тут может что-нибудь есть.
Apologies, but it seems your U-chip is running out of date firmware.
Ну и чё? Оба. Банка. Отлично. Так. Зачем мне только нужна банка, я не знаю. Так, мусорка. Ну, во всех квестах, ну, нужно смотреть по мусоркам, да?
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Outdated U-chip firmware detected. Firmware must be updated to use Union City facilities.
I was about to return to give Ember a piece of my mind when...
Ну, отлично. Поехали. Посмотрим на этот Union City. Я не играл в первую, но выглядит прикольно. Мне казалось, что в первом это какая-то, может быть, киберпанковское говнище. Ну там все, а тут все так, цивилизация, как будто город будущего, зелень. Скорее всего, там опять будет, типа, за таким фасадом скрываются ужасные вещи и бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла. Так интересно, какие ужасные вещи? Похищать детей и делать из них рабов? Вопрос зачем?
The stalkers had come into the city, but looking around, that didn't make any sense. This place was a paradise compared to the Union City I'd left all those years ago. Joey had certainly turned the place around. I had to find the stalkers, and whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. I just had to sort out my U-chip problems first.
Ну-ну, так, и как нам разбираться с U-чипом? Естественно, я пойду назад, а не туда, куда меня ведут разработчики. Корзина, вещи. Ну, наверное, нет. Ломать корзину я не вижу, зачем смысл. Так, но с ними даже не поговоришь. Все такие хипстеры. Да. что написано? Join to social elite on. Присоединяйся к социальным элите на какой-то там праздник. Что-то взять. Так. Корзина, вещи нет. У меня, кстати, остались сардельки. Ну, мне нравится, ребят. Винда все-таки это была основная платформа для игр. Чтобы там не делал вал.
Hello?
Good morning, Graham, Grundy. I trust you are well on this fine day.
Actually,
Aha! Have you tried Dijon buttercream spankles? It's new.
sounds delightful.
That's the spirit. Now, Mr. Grundy, we both know why you're here, don't we?
I guess we do.
Your firmware. It's ridiculously out of date.
Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Go on, place your hand on the platform.
Why should I?
Oh, Graham, what a ridiculous question. How do you expect to access your messages? Or vote on important city issues? Or use the travel system? Please consent to the firmware update.
Okay, here goes.
Well, that's very strange.
What's very strange?
What's very strange?
You said that's very strange a moment ago. Something about my data.
I didn't. You said, what's very strange?
I only said it because you said that's very strange.
Great. What else can I do for you, Citizen Graham?
Ха-ха.
There was something strange about the ID
Перестала
that I had
работать.
acquired. While she may have lost the plot, I definitely hadn't. Would you mind scanning my U-chip like you did before?
But, Graham, your firmware is up to date.
Humor me.
Okay. Well, that's very strange.
There, you just did it again.
Because you asked me to humor.
I mean, you said that.
I assure you that I have a
It appeared that every time she tried to access my data, the last few seconds of her
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm looking for a vehicle.
Well, a monopod station can be found at either end of...
Are there any vehicles in the city?
Polite request for disambiguation. By legs, do you mean a vehicle
I mean a vehicle with legs for propulsion.
Do you mean a skateboard or scooter?
You are no help.
I'm here to help.
So is my firmware all up to date?
It sure is, Citizen Graham.
Now you can get back to being a top-notch citizen again. I see you have 2 weeks of public voting to catch up on. Better find a terminal and hop to it.
What was the firmware update for?
Well, Mr. Grundy, it still had the original firmware from the early iterations of the Council's U-chip program. Frankly, I'm surprised.
I've lived a simple...
You poor thing.
To be more specific, I'm looking...
Oh, I do wish I could be more help, but I have...
No, a vehicle.
Ну, я думаю, здесь сейчас ничего не будет.
Can you try accessing my data one more time?
But, Citizen...
Please access...
Well,
What?
what?
That's... Whatever was blocked... I'm still very...
As am I.
No.
Very well. Forgetting you mentioned it has been recorded for training purposes.
Can you tell me everything?
Joey was pivotal in the restructuring of Union City, and we... If you would like to learn more about Joey's role in the rebirth of Union City...
Ну не, в музей мы не
anything else I can
пойдем.
help you with?
So Joey isn't around.
When the city
Да.
was ready to be ruled democratically, Joey stepped aside to make way for the Council. If you would like to learn more about Joey's role in the Is there anything else I can help
Ну,
you
видимо, надо все-таки идти
Where
будет.
can I find one of these terminals?
They're everywhere. You can't throw a bilby without hitting a terminal.
Why would I want to throw a bilby?
I know, they're so cute.
Tell me about Union City.
The temperature is a perfect 296 degrees.
296 градусов.
296 degrees? In what units?
Kelvin, obviously. What else would it be?
Кельвинах.
What's happening in the city these days?
Have you
Сумасшествие.
tried Dijon buttercream?
I have not.
38% of citizens
38% is not.
get it before it's gone.
Can you tell me about the...
The council was formed as a democratic oversight committee.
Представление
The council is made up Ministry of Plenty, Ministry of Would you like to know more?
Да, конечно,
I think I
интересует.
need to.
Polite suggestion. A complete account. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Короче, видимо,
How can I speak to
пойти
the
в
council?
этот надо музей.
Communication with the council.
Right.
Well, I'm sure if you saw one of them wandering about.
That's more like it.
The council resides within the citadel. Unfortunately, you're...
I'm sure you understand.
Listen, I don't know
Мне
if you'll be able
кажется,
to help
социальные
on
очки.
this.
I'm here.
Okay.
And from which
He was from outside the city.
I can only help you locate citizens.
I'm looking for a child.
Accessing citizen database.
He is not a citizen.
Is he an animal?
No, I told you, he's a child.
Because Milo is a very common name for pets.
That fact does not help me.
I can only help you locate citizens.
I
А
need to
может,
find a
из них
missing
сделают
child.
зверьков?
Does it...
What?
It's much easier to find a non-missing child.
If he wasn't missing, I wouldn't...
But if I'd found him, then he wouldn't be missing.
His name is...
Good news. While you were chatting, I checked our records and there are no missing children in Union City.
Thank
Ну,
you.
отлично.
Was I helpful?
Yes.
Would you like to fill out a survey?
Ну, давайте пройдем.
Excellent. Are you satisfied?
Whoops, gotta go.
Now that I dealt with my U-chip problem, I needed to find out more about my new identity.
Интересно.
Graham Grundy.
Так, а если попробовать его взломать? Нет, не взламывается. Так, ну ладно, пойдемте. Да, ну под виндой явно лучше и графика. Ну реально, просто под этим убунтой, во-первых, она подтормаживала, а во-вторых, такое ощущение, что графон был, ну, на уровне 10-летней давности.
Enjoy this little piece of happiness, courtesy of Minos.
Зачем мне столько... Так, карты нет, да? Ну ладно,
I was
пойдем
enjoying my
посмотрим.
time in the piazza, but I doubted I'd learn much about Graham here.
И куда мне идти? Так, ладно. С этими не пог... Ну хотя бы с ними поговорить нельзя. Чтобы не тратить время там на какие-нибудь диалоги, типа на хотел выругаться. Ну, вы все знаете, там, привет, привет, как дела? Добро пожаловать в минус. Ну, посмотрим. Браки для гражданин. И во всем. Министерство стремления. Так, ладно, это ничего интересного.
I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into.
Печально. Личные данные. Ну-ка. Мой фотоархив. Все пусто. Городская жизнь. Министерство стремления 14 дней назад. Вышло уведомление от Министерства стремления. Вы заметили, что ваш уровень в этом месяце снова упал. Министерство стремлений готов помочь вам стать лучшей версией себя. Помните про улыбку. 14 дней назад вы пропустили выбор нового вкуса Спанклс Union City. Вежливое уведомление от Министерства комфорта. Стало известно, что промышленный робот-уборщик был заперт в пустой автопоезде. Бла-бла-бла. Министерство благополучия. Мы потеряли сигнал вашего кардиостимулятора. Приходите к нам для обследования. Добрый день. Швейное ателье. Так, кардиостимулятор. В вашем досье говорится про отсутствие в течение 4 дней подряд. Обратитесь к своему руководству, чтобы мы могли оказать вам посильную помощь. Помните про улыбку. Швейное ателье мисс Браун. Вчера становится, побалуйте свой внутренний чувство года. Посетите швейное ателье. Вы пропустили плановое обследование. Слушайте, ну я читать не могу. Извините, слишком много. Домой. Я в реальности такую херню не читаю. Вы хотите, чтобы я читал это в виртуальной игре? Привет, Грэм Грэнди. Бонзай из багамской ягоды. Багамские ягоды немного названий. Ананасовые верные, также пересушишь, убьешь. Бонзай из лагистини. Бонзай советчик, как в рекламе. И что это? Получается... непонятно. Так, ладно, херня какая-то. Ну, единственное, что понятно, что надо идти либо в кардиостимулятор, либо куда-то там. Помни про улыбку. Ну-ка, ну-ка, ну-ка. Так, что, мусорка? В мусорку нельзя зайти.
Hooray! Another customer. Please scan your U-chip to place an order.
The droid had been designed to deliver service with a smile. Excuse me.
Greetings, citizen. Have you come for another extra large fluoride orange spankles with extra foam?
I don't know if that's my sort of thing.
Incorrect. According to your order history, it is your new favorite beverage.
My order history?
Indeed, Citizen Graham. You love it.
Do you know anything about missing children?
Oh my. That's above my pay grade. Unless they came to this cafe.
I doubt it. Nobody else seems to have heard anything.
Excellent. I'm glad to find myself synchronized with local knowledge. Now, may I
Ну,
recommend
это
you forget your troubles with a cold,
шутка в
crisp can
стиле
of spankles.
Evolution
Can I
Software.
get a can of spank?
Simply scan your U-chip here on the counter.
Great. What?
No need, Citizen Graham. Your favorite flavor will be provided from your
Вы
order
получите
history.
напиток
I
на
assure
основе.
you, if you are unhappy with the result, your taste buds can be
Вам можно
recalibrated.
перенастроить
Can I get a can of
вкусовые.
spankle?
Just scan your U-chip here
Ah,
on the
мне
counter,
надо это,
and I'll
понятно,
bring one
droid с
right
кафе.
over.
What do you do here?
My name is Barry, and it is my
Я с
pleasure to serve
удовольствием.
fresh, crisp, premium spankles to the wonderful people of Union City.
Do you prepare the spankles to order?
No, sir. That would be unforgivably inefficient. I merely have to collect the flavor from the dispensary and voila!
Any chance of a coffee?
Spankles?
No, a coffee. Cup of joe.
Toffee-flavored spankles?
No, coffee. Coffee-flavored caffeinated coffee. Coffee.
I have no idea what you're saying right now. However,
Кофейни не
all
знают о
ranges
том,
of
что
spankles
такое
include
кофе.
250% of your recommended caffeine intake.
What do you know about the council?
The democratically elected body of Union City government, as introduced by Joey. His final gift to Union City was to transfer leadership to those most deserving.
See you later.
You
Ну,
feel a thirst?
короче, ничего он мне не сказал. Терминал кофе. Использовать. Ха-ха. Просто пришла бутылка, он ее приносит.
One fresh, premium spankles.
Блин. Ладно.
Please scan your U-chip to place an order.
Так, заказать напиток, изменить вкус в туристый апельсин. Открыть дверь, проиграть приветствие. Проиграть отказ. Ну ладно, чё. А, вип-зал сюда, что ли? Так. Выход.
Apologies, but this is the VIP
Да,
lounge.
меня не
You do
пускают,
not
понятно.
currently hold the required kudos value.
Ну-ка, ну давайте попробуем взломать эту штуку. Так. Управление дверью вип-залом. Так. Проиграть отказ. Если нет. Изменить вкус, а может так. Понятно. Так. Проиграть отказ. Заказать напиток. Применить. Ну что, попробуем.
Please scan your U-chip to place an order.
Так, мне надо, чтобы... Вот так что ли? Применить. Да. Все оказалось проще. Ну и тут ничего нет, совершенно пустая штука. Так, чё, единственное, что это чё, нет, это тоже ничего. Выходим.
Now that I'd resolved my outdated U-chip problem, it was time to look deeper into my alter ego, Graham.
Так, ну пока что я понял, что он заходит
Please scan your
сюда,
U-chip to place an order.
бьет штуку.
The sound system projected music around the whole cafe.
Понятно. Ну ладно, пойдем дальше. Все, блин, хипстеры такие. Иди отсюда, иди, так. Ага, искусственный интеллект. Ну-ка.
Hi,
It's Mo.
the pleasure.
How can I be of assistance today?
Thank you.
Никак.
Until then.
Now that I'd dealt with my U-chip problem, I needed to find out more about my new identity, Graham Grundy. It was a statue of my friend Joey. I couldn't imagine why they would have erected. I was enjoying my time in the piazza, but I doubted I'd learn much about Graham here. As much as I'd missed Joey, my first priority had to be finding Milo.
Музей новой истории. Ну, пойдемте посмотрим, что тут. Ну он закрыт. Хорошо.
The museum wasn't open yet. I'd have to come back later.
Ну, пойдемте посмотрим, что дальше. Вот
Please
для начала
dispense
сюда.
all waste in the bins provided.
Ту-ту-ту. Так, это использовать.
Pod has been requested. Please wait for embarkation. Welcome, Citizen Graham. Where would you like to go?
I knew Graham had some sort of... His home would be my best, in fact, my only. Take me to Graham... my home.
Lakeview Apartments. Certainly, Citizen Graham.
He knew a lot more about Graham than I did.
Мне вообще нравится это, когда говорят на английском, а ты читаешь на русском субтитры. Это интересно. Это очень хорошо. Ну что ж, давайте дальше посмотрим, что тут у нас.
As I arrived, masquerading as a dead man called Graham, I was apprehensive about what I would find. But I had no choice. I had to find the stalker. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead.
Ну, пойдемте посмотрим. Так. Блок управления открыть.
It was a hand scanner.
Использовать. И ничего. Так, ну зачем мне вода, я не знаю. Проводы без понятия. Ну, наверное, просто какая-то херня была. Так, тут что у нас? Птичий помет.
This particular spot seemed popular with the local birds.
Хорошо. Ну-ка, тут у нас дальше что? Ух ты.
The seal on the floor showed my buddy Joey just as I remembered him, when I left him in charge all those years ago.
А, это сзади кто у нас?
Hey, buddy, watch where you're standing.
What's your problem?
Your face, for one.
Excuse me.
Well, if you hadn't been staring at the floor like a moron, you'd have seen me.
I didn't catch your name.
I'm your mama.
What? Do you live here?
Do I look like I live here?
I'm not from around here. Maybe everyone here looks like you.
Yeah, and what do I look like?
Trouble.
Keep walking.
Do you know where I can find Joey?
Oh, I don't know. Weirdo. They say he walked into the gap, or sailed across the sea.
Интересно, конечно.
Either way, he abandoned...
You don't like it here?
Needs more color, wouldn't you agree?
What happened after Joey left?
Well, duh. Council runs the city now.
Do you know a guy called Graham Grundy?
Nope. Sounds like a moron.
In that case, let me introduce myself. Graham Grundy.
Doesn't surprise me.
I'll leave you
Интересно.
to...
Aw, really?
Yes, I'm...
Hey, dirtbag! What's your favorite color?
Huh?
You heard me. What's your favorite color?
Красный.
Red?
Bold choice. Later, man purse.
Later, backpack.
Ha! You got nothing.
Clearly not everyone in Union City was quite as...
Интересно, это шпион? Или кто? Так, ладно. Неважно. Так, изображение еще раз осмотрим.
It was another image of Joey. Clearly he'd made his mark.
Хорошо. Так, что у нас тут? Так, дверь в квартиру.
Apologies. Citizen Graham, commencing spray. Please stand back.
Так, она за мной следит.
Water tank depleted.
Так, объявление. Прибраться внутри, пробраться снаружи, выход. Ну, не знаю. Так, что у нас тут? Так, а если поговорить с ним?
Commencing refill.
With no hand scanners, I figured they were intended for droids.
Краска,
Looked like someone planned on doing some painting.
сумка.
The holdall was stained with paint.
А взять-то ее можно?
The holdall was stained with paint.
А вон там еще краска.
Spray. Please.
Looked like someone planned on doing some painting.
Ух ты, краска.
Water tank depleted.
Someone had spilt paint on the floor.
Commencing refill.
Я не знаю, что это и зачем. Ладно, пойдем. Посмотрим, что случится.
Commencing spray. Please stand back. Water tank depleted. Commencing refill.
Давайте посмотрим. Так.
Water refill complete.
Непонятно, что я делаю, что я хочу добиться.
Commencing spray. Please stand back. Water tank depleted.
Ничего не изменилось. Ну ладно. Пойдем попробуем
The already
зайти в
present elevator
квартиру.
did nothing. No surprise there.
А, лифт здесь был. Ну, поехали. Итак. Что у нас тут есть? Мы поднялись на какой-то этаж, видимо, который наш.
Commencing spray. Please stand back.
Ну, давайте попробуем использовать. Моя квартира, нет?
Apologies. Citizen Graham. Water is
Нет,
not
это не
your
моя
residence.
квартира, это что такое? Так, настенное украшение.
For a moment, I was off balance. It felt like I was falling towards the building. But then I realized it wasn't real. Just a lifelike sculpture carved into the wall. What a
Okay.
relief.
Wait, I know that you, Chip. Oh my, is it really? Yes, it is. Master Graham, you have returned. How wonderful.
Oh, good day, huh?
I shall inform Madam and her guest that you have arrived. She will be so pleased.
No, that won't be
Нет, это
necessary.
не надо.
She will be overjoyed that you have finally returned to the bosom of the family. My apologies for the interruption, Madam Songbird. It's Master Graham. It appears he has arrived home, Madam.
Ah, I was hoping to meet you, Mr. Grundy. Mentor Alonso, Ministry of Well-Being. I was just here to investigate some irregularities.
I'm sure my Graham needs a few moments to freshen up. Why don't I show you my kudos records? I don't know who you are, but right now we're both in a lot of trouble. So for both our sakes, you'd better convince the mentor that you're Graham.
Yes, of course.
I'll stall him. Just don't come through that door until you know enough about Graham to pass yourself off as him.
Don't worry. You can count on me. I wasn't sure what I'd walked into. But if I was to convince anyone I was Graham, I needed to find out more about him.
Ну, короче,
His
сейчас,
job,
видимо,
his
надо
family,
по...
his state of mind. The mentor
поторчать
could
по
ask me
ее...
about anything. Information about Graham was scattered all over
Посмотреть
the
пол
place.
квартиры и
All
потом
I had to
решить,
do
что
was look
делать.
around.
Ну, погнали. Так, что это у нас? Ама, спортивный
A
инвентарь.
shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by.
Фотографии со свадьбы.
That looked like Graham and his wife on their wedding day. They looked blissfully in love.
Интересно, приз.
Rhythmic gymnastics, first place.
Кристалл.
Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive.
Так. Ух ты, вот это я понимаю, бардачок.
I was hit by the acrid smell of chemicals.
Так, осмотреть.
Giant scorpions in the sewers. Real or fake? Unlikely. The tentacle monsters would have eaten them years ago.
Так, плакатик. Ой, нет, извините. Второй плакат. Плакатик.
I wondered if Graham self-medicated.
Чем-то этаким это, видимо, имеется в виду что-то этакое.
When I came to Union City 10 years ago, this was very much the case. These days, I wasn't so sure. A printer? It was rare to see one of those.
Плакат.
Anti-Hobart propaganda. Some things never change.
А кто такой Хобарт? Непонятно. Так, книга.
How to survive a war. Better just to not be around to see them.
Ну-ну. Книга.
Espionage during the Hobart Wars. Nice to see the propaganda was still around.
Пробковая доска. Понятно. Был слишком
Among the
далеко.
drawings were photographs, land trains, and the city walls.
Штора. Ну, наверное, там ничего нет.
The blind blocked out all the light from outside.
Ну, поднять я не могу. Обувь.
You can tell a lot about a man from his shoes. In this case, that the man had no taste.
Так. Блин, ну это так себе.
Looked
Заставить
like these
нас...
photos were taken by the city walls.
Заставить нас это все дело тыкать во все эти штуки.
Developing fluid in trays. I hadn't seen gear like this since I was a child. A uniform like the one Graham's wife wore. It was cut for someone much larger. The logo on the uniform was quite distinct. It looked like one of the land trains from the city walls. It was a detailed model.
Медали.
An impressive collection of medals, ranging from bravery to long service. Most of the medals dated back to before I was born.
Так, антиквариат.
A sword? The blade was cracked.
Вертолет.
A security forces copter. I still had nightmares about those things. Twice I'd flown in them, and both times they crashed. I hoped I wouldn't have to risk it a third time.
Ну, в смысле, не современный, а фантастический, конечно же.
The box was for a deluxe hollow plinth replacement lens. There was nothing inside.
Ну, пустая. Так. Нет. Плакат.
I wondered if the people knew that Hobart agents had helped me save their city.
Кто такой Хобарт, непонятно. Ну, видимо, кто-то из первой части.
I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into.
Ну ладно, здесь ничего интересного. Я думал, может, Какие-нибудь личные данные? Так. Что тут у нас? Кухня, совмещенная с душем. Да. Душ.
Tempting, but I'd already had my monthly bath.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. It has been 2 weeks since your last checkup. You have lost weight. Congratulations. It has been noted that your height has increased. Adjusting records accordingly. Scanning for medical implants. Error. Implant missing. Refreshing biomodification database. Please wait. Removing cardiac implant registration. Registering Schriebman port as new implant.
The scanner had detected my Schriebman port, which allowed me to interact with Link, the city's old network. Since then, I'd pretty much forgotten about it.
Adjusting your health rating from C to A+.
I was considerably fitter than Graham. That was good to know.
Так, непонятно, что тут сейчас будет.
Scanning. Your physical health is within the top percentile for a Union citizen. Congratulations.
10%, я так понял.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
What devices do I have installed?
You possess a U-chip personal data implant in the perlicue of your right hand. It is functioning. Your cardiac regulator implants have been marked as removed. You possess a Schriebman local interneural connection port in the third cervical vertebrae. This hardware predates the Minos system and cannot be accessed.
That's probably for...
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any advice for me?
A single can of Spankles contains more than your... Look for the clown. Drink...
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any further...
Are you aware that falls while... Remember, no matter how short the journey...
Thanks.
You are welcome,
Ну,
Citizen
короче,
Graham.
фигня. Прощаться.
That's all for now.
And will arrive at... Keep a smile on your face.
I was a lot healthier than Graham. In fact, I'd say Graham was downright unhealthy. I had made some headway, but I still needed to know about Graham's work and social standing.
Ну, пойдемте посмотрим туалет.
After 10 years in the Gap, I'd almost forgotten what a toilet looked like. There was a boot print. Curious. So Graham was a cleaning supervisor? I needed to find out who he worked for. If I...
Ну, блин, понятное дело, что он вставал сюда.
I needed to find out who he worked. A box had been hidden outside the window. If I could get the window open, I'd be able to reach that box.
А как открыть окно? Как открыть окно? Раковину использовать. Как открыть окно? Непонятно, да? То есть я вот сейчас залезаю и ничего не могу делать, идет заставка.
If I could get the window open, I'd be able to reach that box.
То есть окно открывается по-другому. И, видимо, даже не отсюда. Возможно... Ну-ка, может... душевая кабина. Раковина, автотуалет, душевая кабина. Окна нет. Да. Ну, погнали, посмотрим. Кофевар.
At least one person in the city appreciated a nice cup of coffee. Although I doubted Union City Blend contained even an ounce of actual coffee beans. Definitely an improvement on the food dispensers they used to have here.
Винцо.
Union City Red. I suspected it was more fruit juice than wine.
Так, это я смотрел.
Excuse me, please.
Давайте поговорим.
Hello there.
Master Graham, may I say,
Why,
has Master Graham lost?
maybe.
Oh, yes, sir. And it would appear, sir.
Tell me, Chipworth.
But that was Sir's wife, Madame Songbird.
Yes, of course.
Is Sir quite feeling?
It's fine.
How serendipitous that the well-being mentor is here, then, is it not, sir?
I need you to do...
Just say the word, sir.
Never mind. Perhaps later.
Very good, sir.
Chipworth, tell me everything you know about me.
Request respectfully declined, sir.
But aren't you my butler droid?
Yes, sir. I have been Sir's butler for a very long time.
Then why can't you tell me?
Standing orders, sir.
Whose orders?
You... nice try, sir. Almost had me.
Graham had made sure his droid wouldn't talk. Tell me about that woman.
A woman? Can Sir possibly be referring to his good lady wife?
Humor me. For instance, her name would be...
Madame Songbird. Clearly, Sir is not feeling quite himself today. Sir might recall he even forgot dear old Chipworth's name earlier.
Who?
Me, sir.
Who was that guy in here when I arrived?
Is Sir referring to the gentleman currently probing your wife in the bedroom? That would be the Honourable Senior Officer at the minute. I believe that he would like to see you next.
He would?
Mentor Alonso indicated that there were one or two anomalies in Master Graham's records. Public voting, kudos levels, and
just some mic?
Consumption patterns, biosigns,
I think I get the pic.
But I'm sure there's a simple answer, Master Graham.
Ну и что он хочет?
As a high-ranking official of the Ministry of Well-being, he is here, I am sure, to evaluate the well-being of this household.
Well-being?
Well-being?
Health, social participation, work fulfillment, the usual, sir.
So, what do you do, Chipworth?
Whatever Sir desires.
Жонглирование?
Can you juggle?
Sadly, sir, one's capabilities are restricted to the minutiae of domestic service.
Shame.
We are what we are, sir.
At least as far as anyone else needs to know. How?
I am well. Thank you for inquiring.
This mentor, what will he add?
The Ministry of Well-being is always concerned, sir, with the citizens' well-being.
Well-being. Благополучие.
That's right, sir. He might also inquire if Sir needs any support in the...
Why exactly was I selected?
I believe Sir's 2-week-long work, poll, and social hiatus may have... Just be yourself, sir.
Of course, because I am Graham Grundy. Is this interview...
Correct. The mentor is here to assess Sir's well-being.
And what happens if Sir answers the questions incorrectly?
Incorrectly, sir? Get them wrong? How could Sir possibly do that?
Perhaps I hit my head on something.
Ha! Very droll, sir, very droll.
I didn't have long. I needed to learn. So, what's the
Mentor Alonso will assess Sir's health, happiness, and suitability for work.
I didn't have long.
Ну, все понятно.
I need you to...
Just say the word, sir.
А сейчас он должен помыть окна.
I am sorry, sir, but the window controls are in Madame Song. Her meeting is apparently of the highest...
I see.
Indeed, sir. However, if the air...
It is rather warm.
And pungent, sir.
I need you to do something.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you water the plant?
Very good, sir.
Огонь.
Something told me the fire was not authentic.
Телевизор. понятно, херня какая-то. Так что, идем дальше. Так, ну тут ничего нет. Главный клоун часть, интересно. Может, они что-то подмешивают?
The trees in the gap weren't as pretty, but at least they were real. The pictures were all of Graham's wife. They were photochemical prints, taken using an old-style film camera. The retro technology had managed to blend songbirds seamlessly into the fake backgrounds. The photography was impressive, but the subject didn't look happy. The pictures in the apartment told a sad story. A blissful romance that had soured with time. The pictures were all... The pictures were... The pictures were all... The pictures were all...
Так, ну что, интересно, я уже могу идти сюда или нет? Попробуем.
I knew about Graham's health, but I still needed to find out. Perhaps I'd find more on his personal... I needed to find out more information.
Отыскать в личном терминале. И чё? Там все то же самое, нет? Терминал.
The council was made up of 5 ministries. Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. From the color of his uniform, it was clear that Graham worked for the Ministry of Comfort. I knew quite a bit about Graham's work and health, but I figured I could learn more if I found his kudos records.
Ну, не то сделал. Использовать. Kudos Records. Что ты где такие у нас? Kudos Records. Сообщения, личные данные? Нет. История Kudos. Вот она.
A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough.
Выход. Ну, отлично. Теперь можно пообщаться с куратором, потом с той женщиной.
If I was going to convince the mentor, I couldn't keep them waiting. From that point on,
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here.
Alonso?
Monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So,
Mentor Alonso.
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been...
Issues?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
Comfort.
I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Here we go. Graham Grundy, 42. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exerted. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm...
Excellent. So, with that in mind, I will mark you... Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
B.
Yes, well, that... But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and...
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, and as a mentor...
Of course.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this.
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
The land train facility. It's a fine place to work.
I'm sure it is. Department of Land Trains and Extra City Commerce. Wonderful.
Oh, yes. Couldn't be happier.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. 15 days is a long... We have been concerned...
I'm fine. Better than ever.
Excellent. Now, tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
You mean my heart regulators? Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
You can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day, but...
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind...
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so... The last 2 weeks. I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
Ну,
I
выкрутился,
believe I have
молодец.
all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
Молодчина.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Ah, yes. Of course. That's probably it. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. There. Perfect. I have everything I need.
Great.
Страшно.
Chipbot will show you out.
Chipworth, darling.
Just my little joke. Chipworth.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
I don't know who you are or what you've done with Graham, but I think we got away with that.
I hope so. I don't think that we would get away with it a second time.
Nor do I.
If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish, before Alonso's analysis comes back.
И даже не интересно, кто это? Кто я?
Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact?
Whatever Graham had been up to, I had to come clean with it. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village, and I think Graham was some...
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger, I'm sure you can understand this is all too much for me.
Tell me about it.
So I'm gonna do some damage. In the meantime, I guess that officially this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute idea.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by whoever this contact of Graham's was.
Так, а чё?
Excuse me, please.
Чиворд? Куда? Мне надо с тобой пообщаться.
Hello, Chipworth.
Hello, Master Graham.
Songbird doesn't seem too upset about...
And why would she be?
Sounds like my wife...
I'm confident Madame Songbird's affection was simply kept hidden. On the hint...
I'd like to hear more.
May I suggest that, sir, or perhaps check her social media presence. That's how Madame has traditionally...
My wife mentioned I had a contact.
Perhaps you might ask her, sir. I fear I am not able to elaborate any further.
What's this about?
The aspect... Madame Songbird, it has populated approximately 8... In fact, any time someone spoke of it...
Is that why Graham...
Is Sir referring to himself?
Do I have any...
None, sir.
I need you to do something.
Just say the word, sir.
Okay.
Please, can you...
Very good, sir.
The mentor, Alonso, seemed to be arguing with someone. The gang had a ferocious beak. I was lucky not to lose a finger. The plants needed watering, badly.
Кыш.
The gang had a ferocious beak.
Ну да, ладно, так, ну надо ему эти ломиком сначала использовать.
There wasn't room to swing a cat, let alone a crowbar. Besides, she was guarding her nest. It didn't feel fair. Here you go. Whatever was in the box, Graham had clearly not wanted anyone to find it. Inside was a small glass lens. It had deep cuts scored across its surface. But that wasn't all. Tucked beneath was a photograph. A picture of a stalker. A child's face pressed against the window. Suddenly I realized that it wasn't just Milo. It was clear that multiple children were being taken into the city, and somehow Graham was connected to it.
Так, давайте подумаем. Какая-то фигня. Могу ли я ее куда-нибудь сюда плакат, принтер, химикаты, осмотреть. Нет, ничего нету. Давайте попробуем поговорить с женой.
In Union City, even the teddy bears had screens. This one was broken. I poked at it, but I couldn't get it to turn on. The shelf was loaded with books on management, business theory, and military strategy. I didn't think Songbird would appreciate me rummaging through her things.
Интересно, интересно. Так, ладно. Jasmine.
Songbird,
For what?
that your husband is...
Hey, win some.
That's pretty hard.
Look, stranger. Last few years, Graham gave up trying to be anything other than the... If it weren't for the kudos for being married, I'd have dumped him months ago. You're new here. You want to win in Union City?
My name's Foster, by the...
Songbird.
Is there anything more you can tell?
Not much. He was a loner whose only friends were idiots like him.
Could Graham have had any...
For both our sakes, I hope not.
Can I ask you about some
I'd rather you didn't.
What were you saying about...
Were you born yesterday?
Let's just say...
Okay, newbie. Here's how it works in Union City. Be a good example. Stay happy.
Which you... spent?
Well, kinda. The higher your kudos level, the lower you are in the city. Simple.
So kudos...
Aren't you listening? Lower. Lower is better.